Paige, and today's video is going to be a ranking video. I have all of my GLAMLITE eyeshadow palettes sitting here in front of me. I just finished having a little swatch party and I ranked them all in order of least favorite to favorite. Now I do want to give the disclaimer that I love every single one of my GLAMLITE palettes. Seriously, GLAMLITE has one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow formulas out there. It is so amazing, like so good, and I thought this would be perfect timing to film this video. I've been wanting to film it for quite some time now, but they're actually having their Black Friday sale right now, and literally everything on their website is 30% off, including their already discounted bundles. So if you've been wanting to try GLAMLITE for a while now, this is the chance. Like right now is the opportunity to do so. This video is not sponsored in any way. GLAMLITE has no idea that I'm filming this. I purchased every single one of these palettes with my own money. However, I am affiliated with GLAMLITE and I do have a code and link that I do earn a commission from. So if you use the link in my description box, I will make a small commission if you decide to shop through that. So I would really appreciate it, but of course, no pressure whatsoever. Now, in order to get the 30% off, you have to use the code Black Friday. That's like the code, the magic code. So don't use code Paige. For once, don't use code Paige. Use code Black Friday, but if you do want to shop my link, that does help me out a lot. So I will have the link to their website and all of these palettes listed down below. I am missing two. I know, I'm missing two palettes. The one that just came out, which is the little mini eyeshadow, Paint Pro palette or something like that. I'm missing that one, and then I'm also missing the second newest one, which is the little mini hamburger palette. So I actually plan on purchasing both of those during this sale pretty much as soon as I'm done filming this video. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I do have quite a few reviews up on my channel of these different GLAMLITE palettes. Not every single one, but I will link my GLAMLITE playlist in the description box if I have one. I might not, but I'll at least link the videos or something. I don't know. So anyway, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. By the way, completely forgot to mention this, I've actually filmed a couple of these ranking videos on my channel already. I think the very first one that I did was ranking my Jeffree Star eyeshadow palettes. I could be wrong, but I think that was the first one that I did. I've also done Lunar Beauty and Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is my next one, and I plan on also doing a ColourPop one during Vlogmas, which that video is gonna probably take me like forever, but it's gonna happen, so be excited for that. Okay, also, so many things. My mind is like all over the place. I actually just filmed and reviewed my review. What? I just filmed and posted my review of the brand new Raw Beauty Kristi and ColourPop collection, which is what I have on my eyes right now. If you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. Link will be in the description box. There is a giveaway in that video. I'm giving away one of the, what is this called again? At Forest Sight palettes. Okay, I need to like take a sip of my Coke and just like chill for a second and regroup. So the first palette that I'm going to be talking about is my least favorite, and this is by far my least used palette. I feel like this particular one doesn't really match up to the other ones. Okay, the one that I'm referring to is the pizza palette. Now, of course, GLAMLITE is known for their food-themed palettes. I love it. I love the idea of it. It's so cute. Everybody loves food, and a lot of people love makeup, and combining the two is just genius. So this is their original pizza palette. When I open this and I look at it, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't excite me like the other GLAMLITE palettes do. Now, this is great quality. The mattes in here are phenomenal. I love the matte formula from GLAMLITE. What am I doing with my hand? There's only like 3 metallic shades in the palette, and none of them are their super shimmery, intense, blinding formula that they have in a lot of their more recent palettes. So it's just not as like glitzy and like impressive and fun to look at, and so I feel like I don't reach for this palette for that reason. It is, like I said, mostly mattes, and you have some really nice basic colors in here. I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't ever really use it. I will swatch a couple of shadows from each palette. So for example, Red Onions is one of the metallic shades. It is literally so pigmented and very beautiful. It has a nice sheen to it, but it's not like that glittery, sparkly kind of formula that I feel like is part of the reason why I love them so much, and I just wish this palette had some of those thrown in there. I'm not sure how old this palette is as far as like when it launched, and I don't know if this is one of their first palettes. I would assume so, and I'm sure they've evolved, you know, as they've come out with more and more product, but this is just definitely by far my least favorite palette in the collection. Jalapenos is another metallic shade. You can see the sheen on my finger, and it's like it's intense. The pigment is undeniable and it's beautiful, like don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. It's just not the same as their other palettes, and I don't know, I just This last shade here that I'm gonna swatch is called Green Peppers. This is one of their mattes, and it is a gorgeous bright green color, and as you can see, like beautiful shadows. It's just doesn't have that wow factor to me, even though the packaging is 10 out of 10. The shadows themselves just aren't super impressive to me. I love them, but the lack of variety of texture and the specific color scheme is the reason why I chose to put this at my least favorite spot. So the pizza palette comes in 10th place. I have 10 GLAMLITE palettes, and that one is my least favorite. So that one's 10th place. In 9th place, this one was tough. I was deciding between this one and the next one, and I think that this is my final answer, but it's a tough one for me. In 9th place, we have the Viva Taco palette. This is such a cute palette. Like, first of all, look at how freaking adorable this taco is. I love it. I don't eat tacos, but I love the taco palette. And here's what it looks like on the inside. You have a nice fun variety of colors. You've got orange, yellow, purple, green, red, and then also a couple of neutrals sprinkled in there. This is just such a cute palette. The colors definitely go with the theme, and the reason that I decided to put this a little bit lower is because of the specific color story. Although I do love color, there are a couple of colors that I like more than others, which are like pinks and purples and like that kind of thing. So you'll see more of those palettes towards the top for that main reason. But you guys, this is an amazing palette. Let me swatch the shade Pico de Gallo. This is a gorgeous orange metallic shade, and this is more along the lines of that formula that I was referring to. I really hope that you guys are gonna be able to see this. It is so stunning. It just like has an extra dimension compared to the metallics in the previous palette. I don't know what it is, but this palette is just so freaking cute. I'll also swatch this one, which is called Mexican Cheese. I love the names of all the shadows, so fitting for each palette. And then I'll go ahead and swatch maybe a matte. We'll do Red Cabbage, which is this super intense deep purple color. And that one actually did not swatch that great. Oh geez, okay, I know why. My hand was still a little bit wet from wiping off the previous swatches, but I think I kind of finessed it to look all right. So these are the swatches from the Viva Taco palette. It's basically all about what color scheme you guys like, and that's like the palette that I recommend, because I seriously recommend all of them. So here is this one once again in 9th place. In 8th place, I decided to put the Burger palette. This is like such an iconic palette from them. Nikki Tutorials has reviewed this palette. Literally so many amazing people have talked about this particular palette. And so I was struggling between this one and the Viva Taco palette, like which one to put where. That vehicle was very loud that just drove by. But this one, like the packaging, like, okay, well, I love the packaging of all of them, but this one is so fun because it's actually like squishy, like a hamburger bun, which I think is just so adorable. Once again, don't eat hamburgers. But the palette is so stunning. So the reason that I decided to put this one ahead of the Taco palette is because of a couple of particular shades, mainly blue cheese, 1000 Island, cheddar, bacon, and lettuce. These kinds of metallics are what I'm talking about. We had a step up from the pizza palette to the taco palette, and then we have another step up from the taco palette to the burger palette. Let me swatch blue cheese because, like, you guys, it's insane. Do you guys see how dimensional and pigmented and beautiful that is? Next we've got 1000 Island. Once again, it's this gorgeous like metallic formula that has a shimmer to it as well. Then we'll do cheddar, which is stunning. Like, it's so creamy and blendable. Like, I can literally blend it out with my finger. I love this palette. The mattes in here are once again spot on. Love their mattes, very pigmented and easy to blend. So yes, burger palette comes in 8th place. I decided to put the Pizza Veggie Lovers palette in 7th place. When I first got the 2 pizza slice palettes, it took me a long time to actually start using them. When I purchased them, I actually purchased a bunch of their palettes at the same time, so I was like overloaded with brand new GLAMLITE palettes. But then I started using these more and more, and I was like, oh my gosh, like these are so perfect. The color stories are like, they're awesome. They're sort of monochromatic, but like they work so well, and there still is enough variety in here. So this is the Veggie Lovers palette, but this one just has so many fun like greens and yellows and browns. I will swatch a couple, of course. So this one here is called Jalapenos, and I do notice that sometimes they will have repeated shade names, but they are different shadows. So sometimes they'll be shimmers, sometimes they'll be mattes. So there's the shade Jalapenos from the Veggie Lovers palette. We've also got Caramelized Onions. Such a pretty coppery bronze shade, so smooth. Then we will swatch this matte green called Basil. Here is a swatch of Basil, and there's just so many fun different shades in here. If you like greens, this is the palette for you. It's super awesome, and I think do they all have a mirror? I'm just not realizing. All of the ones that I've mentioned so far do have mirrors, but the next one that I have in 6th place actually does not have a mirror, and that's because it's the pink palette. This is such a gorgeous rainbow palette, you guys. Well, first of all, look how cute this is. This is like the only non-food related palette that I have from them, but it's still super fun and like themed, I guess. It obviously is like a little artist palette, and you have every single color in the rainbow. The outside ring is all mattes, and then the inside ring is shimmers. Now they did just come out with a newer version of this, sort of like a mini, and it's their Paint Pro palette, and the metallics in that palette look insane. I just watched my friend Allie's review on it, and it looks beautiful. So I cannot wait to pick that one up. But I do want to swatch my favorite shadow in this palette, and it is called Light Green. This is one of the metallics, and you guys, it's magical. Like, I don't know that I would call this light green. It's sort of like just like a regular green, but I love this shade. It is so vibrant and sparkly and metallic and beautiful, and I love it. I'll also go ahead and swatch Violet. When you're swatching them, you can just feel that they have like a thicker texture to them, and you just know that they're gonna be so buttery and smooth and blendable and pigmented. Like, what the heck? Look at how intense that is. And then I guess I'll just go ahead and swatch Fuchsia, which is a matte pink. Here is Fuchsia swatched next to those other 2 shades. If I had to pick a favorite formula, it would definitely be the metallics. like I have other matte shadows that I like, but the metallics are seriously unmatched, and like you have to try out their metallic formula at some point. In 5th place, I decided to put the Street Taco palette. This is so freaking cute. I'm pretty sure this was the first mini palette that they did, and I was so excited when it came out. It has, actually I'm holding it upside down. It has so many fun bright like neon type kind of shades, and once again the metallics in here are just insane. Like seriously, just like take a second and like appreciate the beauty of this palette. It's very diverse, but you can still get some really fun looks out of this palette. So this one, the minis sometimes will have a couple of repeated shades. Like this one also has the shade Pico de Gallo in it, but most of them are different. So let's swatch Red Onions. This is like one of my favorite shadows in the entire palette. So sparkly and pretty. This one here is called Guacamole, another very gorgeous green color. So sparkly, I can't get over it. And then I guess I'll swatch like one of the browns maybe. So we'll swatch the shade Pollo, which is like a nice medium matte brown color. And there she is. I feel like the mattes truly don't swatch as well as they perform on the eyes, which we all know swatches don't mean everything. That's not like the standard that we go by, but they are nice to see, and I will say that the metallics do perform as they swatch on the hand. I do think that the mattes swatch a little bit poorly compared to how they perform on the eyes. That's just my personal opinion, but they still look beautiful when you swatch them. But yes, in 5th place we have the Street Taco palette. In 4th place we have the GLAMLITE Pizza Meat Lovers Slice palette. This one is more up my alley. We have so many fun pinks and purples and reds and just beautiful colors that I love so much. Obviously pink is my favorite color, so I do prefer to wear these types of shades on my eyes. But you guys, this shade right here is called Ham and it's insane. Like, I am so obsessed with the way that the shadow looks. We've also got Bacon, which is another iconic metallic from them. Like, so blinding. And then we also have some other metallics that are a slightly different formula. So for example, this one's called Pepperoni, and you can see in the pan that they look a little bit different. They're not quite as sparkly. They don't have the little glitter in there, but they're extremely creamy. It's such an interesting texture to experience and explain. And then also Salami, I believe, is the same formula. It's just a little bit deeper than Pepperoni, more purple toned. But like, are you kidding? Like, this is no primer, no moisture, just like straight up swatches from the palette. So this is a lovely palette if you like purples and reds and pinks like me. You've got a nice variety of mattes and shimmers, sparkly colors, and it's just awesome. The only thing I feel like that would be missing from this palette is like a lighter, like cream color, like an inner corner highlight kind of shade, or like a matte cream color. But like, then you don't really get like pizza vibes from that, so it just works so well together. Now we're in the top 3 section of GLAMLITE palettes, and they are the 3 dessert palettes that they have. Surprise, surprise, the dessert ones are my favorite. In 3rd place, I decided to put the donut palette. This is a little mini palette, and it's so cute. Once again, it has like sort of like a squishy texture. Love the detailing on the packaging. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It's so fun. I will say you do have a little bit less variety, I feel like. I don't know. It's all like purples and blues and pinks, and then 2 browns. I don't know. When I see this, I think monochromatic, even though it's technically not monochromatic, but it is all very similar shades. Like, you have a metallic pink and a matte pink, a metallic purple and a matte purple, a metallic blue and a matte blue, and that takes up a majority of the palette. Then you have this gorgeous matte brown, metallic brown. This fun little teal color I think is a great addition, and then in the center you have a gorgeous highlight. Oh, you guys, this color here, maple, is like the metallic brown. Oh my gosh. Some of these metallics are a little bit soft, so you have to be careful. But this literally looks like paint. Like, it looks wet, but it's not. It's so insane. That's probably my favorite shade from the palette. We've also got this pink one right here, which is called Strawberry, which is gorgeous. It's not quite on Maple's level, but it's up there. Then we've got this really pretty blue, which is called Sprinkles, once again. And then Glazed is the center shade, which I just thought I would go ahead and swatch. This is one of the more softer shades. And there she is. So beautiful. I love this palette so much. I feel like it's just so cute and totally on trend. They're not on trend, but like on vibe of the palette itself. They just do such a good job with their color stories, I feel like. All right, you guys, on to our last 2 palettes, which are my personal top 2 from GLAMLITE. We have the ice cream palette in 2nd place and the cake palette in 1st. Now, I will say that I actually have only used this palette once, and that's because it is very new to my collection, and I didn't use it right when I got it, and I'm so shocked at myself that I didn't film a video about this when I first got it. I got it when it launched. But you guys, this is the ice cream palette. It's so beautiful, and if I continue to use this, I wouldn't be surprised if this takes 1st place. I don't know. I can't say it just because, like I said, I've only used it once so far, but like, look at the palette. There's so many gorgeous pastels. There's so many mattes, so many shimmers. Like, I feel like there's more shadows in here than in any other palette, and they're just all so beautiful. Salted Caramel, one of my favorite shades in the palette, if not my favorite. It literally, quite literally, looks wet. It's so insane. There's little silver like sparkles in there. Strawberry Cheesecake, oh boy, these are soft, is another one. So freaking gorgeous. Blueberry Cheesecake is this really pretty like purpley color right here. I'm making such a mess with my swatches. I'm gonna be covered in glitter for the next like 4 days. There are also a couple of shades in here that are a little bit different, and I think they're new. So there's like little speckles of like a different color kind of thrown in there. So Cookie Dough, for example, is like a brown metallic, but then there's little speckles of a more white metallic color. And then Rainbow Sherbet also almost looks like it has 2 different colors in the pan. It's hard to say, especially since I've swatched them now, but like, they're so gorgeous. All of the pastel shades are very pigmented and beautiful, and they look great on any skin tone. I have seen people with very deep skin tones use these pastel colors, and they are so pigmented and they actually show up, which is awesome, and they just look so beautiful. So I love this palette and I can't wait to keep using it. But like I said, I had to put it at second place because I have only used it once. And then of course in first place we have the Cake palette. I keep it in the little box. I bought the little, you know, PR box thing, even though I paid for it. But here's what the actual palette looks like. This is the Cake palette. I love the packaging of this. It's so cute. And then inside, here it is. Here she is, so beautiful. Here are some swatches from the Cake palette from this side to this side, which is left to right for me. We have cinnamon, guava, carrot, violet, or lavender, and banana. These metallics are seriously so insane. I love the variety of color in here. It's like a rainbow, but like vibrant, and you have basically a metallic for every matte, and it's just so gorgeous and beautiful, and I love it, and that's why it's my favorite. So out of anyone, the one I would recommend the most is the Cake palette, just because it's my personal favorite. But like I mentioned, the ice cream is up there. It has a chance to take the throne of best GLAMLITE palette, but like I mentioned, I do love all of them so much. I feel like the only one that kind of doesn't stand up to the same standard as the rest is the pizza palette. Like I mentioned, I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't have that excitingness from the actual shadows themselves, which makes me sad because I love pizza so much. It's one of my favorite foods, and I love the packaging of the palette. It's just something about it is a little lackluster in my opinion. So anyway, that is my ranking GLAMLITE palettes video. I feel like I'm looking a little crazy right now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Like I mentioned earlier, now is the time to purchase a GLAMLITE palette if you have been wanting to. Their Black Friday sale is awesome, and I know they had an amazing Black Friday sale last year, and I'm so happy that they have another one this year. I will have the links down below in the description box, and don't forget to use code Black Friday for 30% off the entire website, including the bundles. And when I say bundles, they have like 3 or 4 palettes together already discounted, and then you'll get a 30% off of the discounted price. So super awesome deals going on, and I think it's while supplies last. I'm not sure exactly when it ends, but I'm gonna try to get this video up as soon as possible. Maybe even tomorrow. I'll probably post this the day before Thanksgiving just to give you guys as much time as possible. So anyway, I hope you know I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.